Good evening to the TikTokers. You all are such a huge audience. Good evening to Facebook. And I'm going to just send out this notification. And each time you see me move is a group that gets it. And we have many groups. And I hope, Satish, I want the TikTokers to tell me, are you seeing me red? Because I have a red filter on this thing and I can't get it off. But I'm new to TikTok. So if you all see me red, I apologize. Tonight, just let me be a red man. All right? We have some things to talk about. Of course, people have been wondering why I'm not doing a live video when we announced such a big thing 2 days ago. Where, was it 2 days ago? Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. My God. It's just, the time is just, whew. Anyway. So, Wednesday, today being Thursday, Wednesday morning, yeah, it's really only been just yesterday. So much stuff, so many meetings, so much fight down. I'm going to tell you this, I wanna touch base on all of it because I want to bring it back. And the purpose of this video tonight is to bring us back to the mission. And the mission is, and I'm looking for somebody who coming in from duty free to bring me a new Ray-Bans. I think it's a cabin master or something like that. So look at WhatsApp me on 682-2110 because I want to get a new shades. My shades are about 25 years old. I pay in your feathers when you bring it in for me. Just make sure I have it on all of these pages. We're almost there. We're in the home stretch. And after this is lyrics to make a politician cringe. So, a lot of things happened. Oh wait, I have to go live on this phone now. Satish, thank you for your patience. I'm going live on this phone now. We now have 7 lives running. Oh wait, they're not live yet. I don't have my cup, as you could see, and not in my studio. From tomorrow, all that's going to change. Right? Tomorrow we're going back full speed ahead. I'm in pep gear. For those of you who do not know me, good evening. My name is Phillip Edward Alexander. I am the political leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party. A lot of people in the media like to call us the People's Empowerment Party. No, our symbol on the voting ballot will be a P, an E, and a P. So if that first P is Progressive Empowerment Party, then it's cool. If it's People's Empowerment Party, it's still cool. Even Phillip's Empowerment, don't stick to that one. But you know what I'm saying, right? The People's Empowerment Party, I kind of like that. I like that name. And yeah, so we are the Progressive Empowerment Party, but we certainly are the People's Empowerment Party. Is there any way you can be Prime Minister, please? Yes, we have to win the general election. And that's why we're taking part in this local government election. So thank you for that TikToker who asked me that question. It speeds us along to where we need to go tonight. Why is the Progressive Empowerment Party taking part in the local government election? Everybody's hearing me good? Let me get some thumbs up or some symbols on the screens. Show me some hearts and some love if you're hearing me good. And I will just take that. Nice, good, cool, right, good. So, because we're trying out this thing, I wish I could take a picture and show you. I have 3 phones in front of me. I'm trying to make eye contact with all 3 of you all at the same time. Let's do this. Why is the Progressive Empowerment Party taking part in a local government election when the Progressive Empowerment Party says local government does not work and it needs to be abolished? The Municipal Corporation Act needs to be repealed and that something new be put in place. Something that the Progressive Empowerment Party calls a constituency board of supervisors, something functional, something responsible, something that can deliver in your constituency. A constituency board of supervisors would empower your constituency to be a little state in Trinidad and Tobago, funded at budget time to manage public works, public utilities, education, healthcare, and security. So each constituency would be responsible for the performance of all those things within its borders. Yeah? Stick a pin. We can't change that until we are the government. So we can't. So our position was going to be stand down from this election. Don't take part. Don't let them. Somebody's telling me I could do something and move the red. No, that didn't help me. They just swipe in left. All right, that didn't help me. I don't know anything about TikTok, you know, and we're big on TikTok. I need to learn it. Just today we share a video and it get like 120,000 views. We used to get millions of views on Facebook, but they have us blocked on Facebook and restricted and all kind of thing because the PNM and the UNC scared to death of anybody that talks the truth. And it's not really them, man, because they are just the front. The real people that are scared to death of the truth is the contract mafia, because the contract mafia is who loots the country. And this is the problem I have with some of these political parties that want to pretend that all political parties are the same thing, and they're not. Because who paying the piper, calling the tune? Straight up so. Rowley can't decide, Kamala can't decide, Gary can't decide. None of these people, because they belong to other people who call the shots for them. That's the reality. That's the truth. That's what's ruined Trinidad and Tobago. Anyway, come back to this. So our first position was stand down, we're not taking part. But then we realized that the amount of people that would have been disappointed and disenchanted if the Progressive Empowerment Party didn't make itself available for this referendum. I want you to remember that word. This election that is about to take place, this local government election, is not about local government. Nobody is going to vote in this election. We're going to walk about and we're going to talk drains and we're going to talk mosquitoes and we're going to talk everything that regional corporations are supposed to take care of. But I want to tell you, that's not what people coming out of the house to vote for this local government election. This local government election is going to be a referendum on multiples of things. And it's going to be a referendum on multiples of things like the PNM, their governance style, what do people think of what's happened for the last 8 years. It's going to be a referendum on the UNC because the UNC has not been able to rise out of the doldrums and the ashes of their failure as a people's partnership. They've not been able to move. No matter how much the few remaining people whose job it is to breathe fire into the UNC not working. And it's like, you ever hear this saying, when things are against you, even wet brown paper could cut you? I watching pretty much UNC constituencies drowning last night while UNC St. Augustine currying duck. Now, I ain't telling you, don't curry a duck, but just asking how you think it looked. If it was a Progressive Empowerment Party opposition, if we were in charge, if they were dependent on us, we would have suspended the curry duck, or we'd have cook it and take it for them, because plenty people didn't eat last night. Plenty people lost a lot of their belongings last night, and they weren't able to cook or make a sandwich for their children before they put them to bed. A caring government and opposition would have seen it fit to mobilize food, at the very least food and drinking water, so that people could at least make it through the night. So while on one side of the island, people fetting and whining and drinking and eating, on the other end, people trying to find a way out of the morass of what they've become. Anyway, the UNC is, there is a referendum on the UNC too, because the population believes that an opposition cannot deliver. That's the message, that's the narrative that was given to them. But along came the Progressive Empowerment Party, and Phillip will fix it. And Phillip will fix it came out of us not accepting this narrative that you have to be in government to fix it. So the biggest thing that we took on was the Golden River. We went down to Chester Suchet Trace. We went down there to meet with the farmers who have no representation from either the PNM or the UNC, regardless of who is the member of parliament for the area, which turns out to be Rudal Mulinal. But they have no representation, and they feel like for all the taxes they pay and for all they contribute to the nation of Trinidad and Tobago, that they are not considered and they're left behind. So the Progressive Empowerment Party went down there, they heard their woes. Marissa Prasad, our deputy political leader, is one of 3 deputy political leaders. She's the shadow MP for the constituency, and like all of our shadow MPs, working hard on the ground to mirror Phillip will fix it. Now it's Pep will fix it, and it beg. So I say NTA is the biggest thing we undertook, because there's national infrastructure and it's going to cross multiples of constituencies. So we go down there and we understand that because the river has not been dredged for decades, that the bottom of the river is right up to the top. So that when water fills it, is the difference between a bowl and a saucer. If it's a bowl, it could hold a lot of water, taking it out to the sea before it overflows the banks. But if it's a saucer, it's just overflowing as it gets water. So I just give it as an analogy. To make it worse, they took me walking past bridges to see that over the decades, debris built up between the footings and the pilings of these bridges and created dams. So everywhere along the way of the Golden River, there were blockages, which made it worse and exacerbated the problem. So the first conversation I had with them, I told them, we are not going to turn our backs on you. It's not a small problem, but the farmers were guiding us. The second time I went down there and I met one of the farmers who was at the initial meeting, and he showed me his land. And his land was a river, a little floodplain, a track, and his land. So the saucer flowed into his land unimpeded. There was nothing to stop the water when the river, the saucer, overflowed its banks immediately, destroyed his crops. And I could see acres, for as far as the eye could see, it was his land, and he said he planted nothing. Because it doesn't make sense to plant, that he puts out all that effort. And I want to tell you something, we have a farm. The Progressive Empowerment Party has a farm, Pep Farms. It's a proof of concept. We grow lettuce, and we sell lettuce and pimentos and other things to a lot of organizations in Trinidad as a proof of concept, and we know it could be done. But I know the amount of hard work that our people put into this farm. So when he showed me his acres, because we don't have a farm that big, he said it doesn't make sense. They proposed that we build a berm as a temporary short-term solution to give this man relief. That if the water climbs higher than 4 feet, then everything flood. So we built a berm for him. The Progressive Empowerment Party, together with him, built a berm. Now they have other people out there who, when we reach in any situation, to show up with the answers, and they know, but they don't do. And the difference between knowing and doing is why Mr. Farmer have no crops. Because when the Progressive Empowerment Party says, we will fix it, we don't mean we're going to touch down and talk about it, you know. When we come, we're going to find a solution to fix. Y'all seeing that? Spending some time in the gym in the morning. You seeing that there? Right? I'm not pulling it right there. You see my fingers loose, right? Nice. Just keep your eye on that, because bringing sexy back in a big way. But we'll stick up in there. And the difference between all these people who could come and post on Facebook and tell you all the things that they know about and all the solutions that they have, but it's only to talk. It's like when I went to this place, I can't remember the name, and the bridge collapsed, and then Darsing come and put up a sign that said PNM ineptness and whatever. We went, we dealt with the workers, and we got them. They had come and they knew that it was bullshit. They dropped a truckload of gravel, and that was supposed to tell people that they were there, but that truckload of gravel could do nothing. I spoke to them, And I asked them for a commitment that they will fix this bridge. And they say, Mr. Alexander, the police and all was there. They were in the conversation. I said, Mr. Alexander, we're going back to get the material. The next morning, they opened back that bridge. When we went down to the Golden River, we built the berm so this farmer doesn't have to worry about his farmland being a floodplain. We took serious engineers and contractors with us. They were organizing footage from Google, satellite images. Plus, they brought drones and they were taking shots of the water for the length of the thing to get an idea of the job. So we had come up with this plan. The berm that we built for him, we were going to build 2 berms on the side of the river from debris in the river. So we were literally coming to dig into the river, and what we pull out, pile it up on the side of the river, all the way down the river. So we would have accomplished 2 things immediately. We would have turned the saucer back into a bowl, but we would have made it a deep bowl, and we would give it sides so that it would take a lot more to burst the banks. It would take a real serious situation. And the farmers would know, and they would be able to put pumps in place and other things. So we agreed on that. We started to talk, dealing with a major contractor in Point Fortin, and he ready to mobilize equipment. Marissa Prasad calls to say, come and see what's going on just the street. The minister here and the member of parliament, who is the opposition, here too, and then come to find solutions for the Golden River that they ignored since 1962. Now, if the Progressive Empowerment Party did not pay attention to the farmers and did not go down there to rescue them, the member of parliament and the government wasn't coming. You see, Phillip will fix it, has lit them on fire. Those barrels down by Gandhi Village roundabout. When I went to Gandhi Village roundabout, and I realized Rohan Sinanan was a stunting jackass collecting a salary for nothing, I went to fix it because I told them, you put signs on the side and you're not maintaining the bush, and the bush cover the signs. And there were only 2 signs that said road end, highway ends. Just 2. When I went, 2 signs. So we went and we ran like an airstrip. You all saw it, of barrels with lights, solar powered on top. And from the moment it started to get dark, you would see this runway in front of you, bright orange with reflective Phillip will fix it, and these yellow lights flashing. So you'll slow down because you'll know you're in some kind of construction situation, and you'll realize that the highway ends at this concrete roundabout. Mr. Stunting Rohan Sinanan stole my barrels, crushed my barrels when we found it, because he's a little short jackass with, I am sure, problems in the bedroom, because no man gets on like that. No real man gets on like that. I'll conversation about another time. But when I told them we were coming to put rumble strips, the Ministry of Works did not know what rumble strips were, and they had to go and find out. They said they had to get backhoes to make rumble strips. First, he didn't know. He was the minister. He should have been fired. Because every single person who died on Gandhi Village roundabout died as a result of the failure of the Ministry of National Security. And those families should sue them. And judges should award millions of dollars in penalties, so that people who take jobs like a ministry, and it shouldn't come out of the taxpayers' funds, it should come out of Rohan Sinanan budget, his money. It should come out of his money. Like when the police went to that little UE student who was protesting outside UE, and they put their knee in his neck, you all remember that? And the then commissioner, what was his name? Phillip, Misfit, Griffith. when Misfit Griffith say nobody will protest in this country again. All remember that? All remember when Misfit Griffith was big and bad because he was commissioner and he sent police and police went and kneel on this little boy's neck and Gary said you can't protest again in the country, you can't block road, you can't burn tires. A judge just said bullshit with that. A judge just said the law does not allow the police to stop your protest. Different thing. But anyway, that boy, now that the judge made that announcement, that boy who was arrested for his protest should sue the state. Should sue the state, and a judge should award $10 million to that family. To that boy, he should get $10 million to make him rich and to tell everybody else you are not the law. It should, Misfit Griffith should pay for some of that too. But we could talk about that next time. I ain't really want to go down in his business. I go wait until nomination day to see if the NTA is a real political party. And I real vex, you know. Now come back to that. But this is why the Progressive Empowerment Party went into this local government election, because the people need somebody that they could give their vote to, and not a fly-by-night organization, a real political party of real structure that can come down and prepare to dredge a massive river that the government and the state failed to dredge since 1962. When you are a political movement and you are capable of mobilizing to that level, you are as big as the government or bigger. And that frightens them. That's why they had to shut the candlelight movement down, because Phillip Alexander had mobilized the country over Andrea Barrett. Phillip Alexander, yes, Inshan and them came along and they came for the ride, no problem. But Phillip Alexander now are going to claim it, because what Inshan do me the past couple hours here are blue vex, and I'm going to deal with that tonight. I'm going to deal with that tonight because he was out of place to do me that. I let him come up on that stage, open hands, and I let him into my offices, and we allow him into the candlelight movement, and we open hands. Who knew? Everybody who was telling me the man is a snake, he nasty, he only in it for himself. He and Gary and Vassant link up to take that piece of land from ETEC. That's how we end up with that piece of land, grilling lamb, grillad. Deal with that another time too. But the Progressive Empowerment Party is a real political organization, and while they have many political gatherings that show up at election time, every election Gavin Nicholas comes to try to be the Prime Minister of Diego Martin. He's come to run for 3 seats. That's all he can. I understand that. But they have plenty political parties that can't mobilize at all. They can't get a candidate. They wouldn't be a candidate themselves. So what's the point? And I said today, you don't buy a drill to have a drill. You buy a drill to make a hole. That's the purpose of a drill. You don't form a political party to lime and tell the media, we running it, we running it, we running it, we change your mind. We running, we change your mind again. We run, oh no. Excuse after excuse after excuse. That is not a real political party. They are not real political parties. They are talking heads. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago who's suffering, who need real representation, need the talking heads to hush. And I'm going to hush Garrulous Gary. I'm waiting till nomination day. Because if Garrulous Gary, Misfit Griffith, can't field one candidate, because see, the same 3 people who working in the office, Saran, Naus, and Timal, is also the screening committee. The same 3 in everything. They appoint some people, you know, Gassan Yosef get a title, Lorraine Pouchette get a title, somebody else get a title. But them title don't mean nothing, because they're never in the office, they don't do nothing for the party, and they just say, you take my name, we go say we's a party, and if we get a little Kobo sweat with Kamala, we in, because that's how they move. And there's a difference, and I want to say this, and I want to hammer it home, that the Progressive Empowerment Party is a political movement that delivers. And we don't deliver in one community, not just Bamboo. We have an office in Bamboo, but we don't just deliver in Bamboo. And we don't just deliver to Christians. I'm a Christian. To Muslims, we have members who are Muslims, and Hindus, we have members who are Hindus. We even have members who are Baptists, we have members who are atheists. We deliver to everybody, no matter where you are. We have members that come as far as Maruga and Point Fortin for the past 2 days to make sure this party is ready for the election. So when they talk, and this is what gets me vexed, me and Inchan, as far as I am aware, we good. We have no beef, we have no quarrel. What was the past? What was the past? Andrea, the Andrea effect, we shake hands, open hearts, good. Everything good. So when people start messaging me and saying, Inchan attacking you, I say, nah, they're talking shit. So Inchan have no reason to attack me. Me and Inchan good. We have no beef. We have no quarrel. No boy, he attacking you. Nah. Saying thing on Facebook. People just talk, let them talk. I ignoring it. Today, the leadership in the party, my members, they want to tell me, Phil, you need to get them, let them. I did. I let them talk. And I ignored. But last night, one of my senior members of our finance team, she messaged me and she said, look at this sick bitch. And she don't talk like that normally, and it incensed her, and it incensed a lot of people. And I sent out the video of what Inchan was doing. And not just me talking. People watched Inchan last night on a show where he is telling people that the Progressive Empowerment Party, which is a massive organization, we have 5 offices in Chan. We have 5 offices. We have an office in Port of Spain. The entire first floor of a 5-story building is the Progressive Empowerment Party, 10,000 square feet. That is our headquarters. We have offices in Bamboo, Orapuch, Couva, where we are screening this Saturday, Anarima. And we have a satellite office in Separia. We have shadow MPs. No other political party ever did that in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Not shadow ministers, you know. You say blue and we say light blue. You say red, we say pink. No. People on the ground. And telling you that when your member of parliament don't deliver, call us. We will fix it. That's our whole campaign. That we will deliver in government, out of government, in opposition, out of opposition, nobody standing on the sidelines. If the Progressive Empowerment Party is in your area, we dare to deliver. We dare to deliver. So this Nimakaram in Shan Ishmael, because we have no beef, we have no quarrel. How do you go from you and me good, shit talking? We have a thread called the Candlelight Movement. Me, Paul Daniel Nahus, Candace Barrett, Avanel Hector Joseph, Jody Mohammed, Inchan, Felicia Holder, Satish Ramsaran, Sean Sunaran. We have a Candlelight Movement. And Inchan is part of the movement. And just this week, we're talking a shit on something. So I'm not expecting, I don't understand how somebody, without even giving you the benefit of the quarrel, just start to attack you. So, and I watching this video, and I hearing this man twist and turn and doing pirouettes on TV, trying to convince the callers that the NTA is stronger than the Progressive Empowerment Party. Now, callers reaming him out. Callers are telling him what we are doing, and Inchan talking, and he cutting across them, and he embarrassing them and dissing them. A man had to cuss him up on his own show, telling the man how the man sound like he's sucking a rum bottle. I mean, you're the host of a show. You are this big professing Muslim. This is how you carry on. This is how you carry yourself. I had to ask you all of this now, because when I seeing this, and I thinking, and he telling a man call, he say, if Gary had get a second term as commissioner, they have no NTA. Inchan say, you know what you're talking about? I deal with them. Inchan lies like that. Easy, quick. Hear this lie, eh? I with them forming this party 3 years now, and if Gary had continued on as commissioner, the wife was going to launch it. Why the wife didn't launch it before? Bullshit. You lie. Your lies stink. there'd never be an NTA. Errol Fabian, when police was throwing Errol Fabian shit in the road, when Commissioner Misfit Griffith's police was throwing Errol Fabian family, his little boy children, jockey shorts in the fucking street, I was down Maraval Road in front of First Citizens Bank, taking them on, mobilizing the country, raise $1 million in 24 hours, and we pay off Errol Fabian house. But Misfit Griffith police was in Errol Fabian house. They won't take the call from Mr. Alexander. We have a time with you. No problem at all. Went to the source of the loan. Because Errol, when he talked to me on the phone, he was in tears. Phillip, I don't know who to turn to, you know, Phillip, this is hard, boy. My whole life's work, Gael in the road. And people get vexed with Errol. When Errol Fabian didn't join the Progressive Empowerment Party, but went and joined NTA. And they say, Phil, that is why, and I'm telling Errol, I tell him, karma, I'm telling you tonight, oh, listen, you know what? Now, all these unfair games, we're going to name them. Errol, that karma will come back. You giving Gary Griffith free airtime on Gael, but they only have a Gael because Phillip Alexander saved it. Phillip Alexander fixed your whole life. And you giving Gary free airtime on NTA, but you ain't calling Phillip. You're telling David Welch, when we borrow the camera, it's $200 there. Don't forget to send me $200 there out of the country. No problem. Send the $200. Send the $200 for him. Life is a funny thing. I have lived long enough. I have seen enough things in my life to know you don't play with energy. So, Errol, I'm ashamed that you're not sit down and laugh with you on Rum Shop Talk and we talk and but I see you, brother. I see you. You looked into the eyes of the only man, a stranger, who was willing to. Gary ain't call his police and say, oh, let's stand down now. Give Errol 2 days. No, it's not that's not the law. It's not the law, Phil. You could lock up little black cockery children outside Bayside for being in the sea, but inside Bayside they could throw a fet. And it's the law, Philco. It's the law. I can't do nothing. I didn't write the law. I just have to enforce it. Miss me with your bullshit now. And I'm coming at all of that. I'm coming at all of that. Because the man who helped him spit in my face. No problem, Errol. Take that spit, brother. I want to tell you something. The taste of that spit in your mouth will burn you for generations to come. And it fall on me like a blessing. Because Papa God gave me strength. Papa God gave me a brain and a mind and a heart for people. I couldn't see you in that morning, Errol, crying over your children's belongings and your life's work. We raise enough money to not only save your house, you get a profit. You ain't call Philco, no problem at all. Cool with that. I'm talking all this tonight. Tim Timal, he's been posting a set of porn and slackness on Facebook called, what? Timothy Pinocchio. Christopher Pinocchio. That is his alias, also known as Tim Timal, who was Gary's social media communications advisor in the Commissioner of Police Office. That is who is his political party. Paul Daniel Nahus, who was given a job in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, when they were scrambling to make up people to take pictures, to say, look, we have a party, look, we take pictures in blue blazers. They couldn't consider Paul then. And it's only after when they realized all the people who was telling him, yeah, we come in, we there with you. You and Gary chain linemen on our balcony. Yeah, we come in, all of we coming. People ain't coming nowhere. People see that dog and pony show a mile away. Everybody see, everybody know the game now. If I give you a field to build, you hook up my son with a football scholarship. We know the game now. Everybody know the game and they stay far from it. People telling me, I ain't going near that, brother. If he's so insane that he gonna try and form a political party just to throw a tantrum with Rowley and hope Kamala pick him back up, Kamala would have to be the biggest ass in this country to do anything with Gary Griffith or in Shan Ishmael. because they conspired. They conspired to remember when Inchan was playing, he was busting file and like he had taped Gary. That was a conspiracy for them to say, Kamala don't work, you know. Kamala just be drunk whole weekend and coming to work late. Hey, you taped me. I thought we wasn't talking. Bullshit again. More bullshit. It was a whole bullshit show. And they set all of we up because all of we thinking things normal. Candlelight movement. We have an event plan in San Fernando saying, boy, Phil boy, sorry boy, COVID boy, eating up people boy, killing people boy. You know, we had to stop your event, Phil. Send police, and police stopped the candlelight movement in San Fernando. But across the road in C3, 10,000 people in a car show. Down in Movie Town in Port of Spain, the biggest crowd they ever had. COVID didn't consider C3 or Movie Town. It was only concerned with people who came to light candles. More bullshit. Miss me with your bullshit. But telling y'all, you know, telling y'all, no water in my mouth again. I ain't holding back again. Don't call me phone. Don't call me family. Don't say, oh God, tell Phillip, cool it now. I vex now. I vex. Because Gary sent Inchan with that bullshit to talk that bullshit. And Inchan only talking that bullshit because Gary organized ETEC land for Inchan. And Inchan only talking that bullshit because when Gary was commissioner, Inchan get police contracts. That is why. This is payback time. Cash in front. Sing for your supper. This is part of one team trying to fool people. Now, Gary put out a release today saying all kind of shit about he's a happily married man, why Phillip concerned about him. Brother, you really think you comb over and fat belly anybody like you, man, woman, or child? Come now, man. Find something else to say now. You're not pretty, you know. Look at this. This pretty partner. If anybody could make that kind of joke, it's me. Calm yourself, okay? The reality of the situation, you're telling people how maybe I started this party to talk for the PNM. I wasn't the one in the Syrian house negotiating for a commissioner of police work, brother. I wasn't the one walking with Rowley, liming with Faris Al-Rawi. That wasn't me. I wasn't the one that gives Syrian and them free run during lockdown to do whatever they want. Wedding, funeral, whatever. That wasn't me. That was you. Don't bullshit nobody. Rowley told the nation when he was reading Emailgate that you conspired to commit murder, that you was going to kill Denise Wren. He never took it back. And then one day, out of the blue, 180 degrees, he nominated you for commissioner. You wasn't the top of that merit list. How come we never talk about that? How come we never talk that the parliament blanked the top 2 people on that merit list and twist and turn and bend rules so you could be commissioner? How come you never talk about that? But you and your small squad, you and your blue squad, talking merit list all over the place. Why didn't talk about that first merit list? Why did every other person who was eligible for the post take their licks and step down? They said they will come at it 3 years down the road. But the next time you and Rowley fall out and they say, well, no more commissioner for you, the whole country must mash up. Meritless, meritless. He is the best police we ever had. Bullshit. Bullshit. And that have me vexed. You know what? You know how me vexed the most? That because of our friendship, I stayed quiet. But we ain't friends no more, you know. We ain't friends no more. After that shit show you put Inchan to do me and my party, after all the work we do, all the sacrifice we make, you and me, we ain't friends no more. Hear me? We ain't friends. Right? But as your friend, I try to get people to let things slide for you. You know how much talk I had to take from people that matter to me about my support of you and your double standard and your bullshit and your obvious lies. And I telling people, nah, he's a good fella. We could benefit from him. That was me telling a lie. You're not a good person. You're not. And we cannot trust you. And I don't trust you. I don't trust you. And I will do everything in my power to make sure the country knows so they choose better. They can't choose that again. When Rowley said that you should be commissioner, I asked the country, did Rowley recant? Did he recall and take back his statement that this man conspired with others to murder a journalist? If he didn't, he cannot make him a commissioner. He cannot. Gary went and tell people that me, I working for Moonilal. This is what Gary say, you know. I have it all screenshot and archived. You working for Moonilal to block me from being commissioner. This is when he was riding with the PNM, when the Balize boys was his boys. When it was he, Faris, and the rest. And Stuart Young and you. Oh God, we dressing alike. Twinsies. And you remember? Remember those days? I don't forget. Where we are now. Where we know. You want all of us to believe that the Rowley that was good and the Rudal that was bad, script flip. Now Rudal good and Rowley bad. And you telling people that maybe I speaking for Rowley now, but you told them I was speaking for Rudal then. Boy, kiss my ass, eh? And miss me with your double-tongued, deceitful... I speaking for Rowley now. When Rowley was your riding partner in Trotters, I speaking for Rowley. Eh? Now Rudal is your partner. When Rudal was the enemy, because if Phillip asking, and all I was asking, brother, is let him clear your name. Just clear your own name. And you like a jackass, fight me over that. And then come back when you and he fall out and he say he still believes Emailgate is true. He still believes that you conspire to murder Denise Wren. And they have nothing you could do but you come out after you're talking to say he can't. And I tell you, I say you're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. But every single person in Trinidad who is afraid to speak the truth about you are going to speak the truth about you now. You're a bully, you're a thug, you like to buy people and use your position in office to give people something that they will owe you, and then you will claim it to your benefit. That's misbehavior. And I want to find out if that is in any way contained in the Integrity in Public Life Act. If Inchan Ishmael and you have questions to answer. But I ain't asking it yet. So stick a pen. But you can check for yourself. Take it as a heads up. But everybody who knows you now are going to talk what they know. Everybody. Because you used your power, and not your power, the power of the offices that you held to have your way and to cut this track. But I tell you, UNC people, not stupid. Now, I'm not joining up with them, but they can't be so stupid. They have to remember that you pulled down Anil, and it is because of you Kamala had to fire you and Timothy Hamel-Smith and everybody else. And that was the beginning and the end of her government. And you and Inshan went and sing Balize tunes. Yeah? To put out release. Say, maybe I is PNM. When did you stop being PNM, Gary? When they fired you? But I thought that's when you stopped being UNC. So in your eeny, meeny, miny, mo life, they only have two people to give you a government work. Kamala, or whoever in that seat, and Keith, or whoever in that one. So what was the NTA? A stunt? What it was? Something to pick up Errol Fabian and Nikolai Edwards and deliver them to another party? What it was? What does Errol Fabian think NTA was? Now that Nikolai going and run his local election campaign as his own progressive party in San Fernando, now that he sees through the bullshit of the NTA, we're going to tell him, we're telling Gassan Yosef, who's still posting his little cryptic posts on Facebook, we're going to tell him. Eh? But I'm going to remember all of them, you know. I can remember Tim Timal. because he just want to come and play my friend. He tells somebody on Facebook, what Phillip ever do? And I share a picture of him standing up there in the fat belly and he pushed toe slippers with a hose while me and my son mixing gravel and cement to fill a pothole that Lee Schaefer put on blast for the people of Diego Martin West when Rowley couldn't be bothered to fix it. I wasn't even in politics then, but Phillip fixed it. I went and fixed it. And he stand up there with his big belly, holding the hose in the morning, and he forget. He forget. That's one of the things Phillip do. Tim man. Or is it that you don't remember when you switch into Christopher Nokia? Tell me. Tell all of us. Little Mr. Saran and Insaf, Igdactylolia, whoever your name is. You send my partner to beg me not to ride for you that night in a live video where you God out your thoughts and put my name in your mouth. Your boss, Gary Griffith, afraid to step to me personally. He knows. I will tell him. He could do all the little releases and share it, forward it to people. But don't come yourself. But Mr. Insaf, don't get in this. You don't get 2 bites of that same cherry. Here I say, be guided. Okay? Because as of now, everybody in that NTA party are now considered my political enemies. And I have you all in my crosshairs. And each and every one of you know this. I will bring it to the public. I'm going to stick up in there. From tonight, I'm going to go quiet. So Gary, talk your shit, brother. Beat up yourself. You and Inchan. Go and rub Inchan bald head. Let him rub your fat belly. To all you, hug up and kiss her. But I'll tell you something. I'm waiting till nomination day to show you there's another alliance of independence. Another waste of time. Another pretend for you and Peter George and Joe Paris and the rest of your squad. Another joke. Want to come and attack me? Because you see us moving forward, we would have still saved a space for you. We would have still opened a door for you, boy. Now, that door closed and welded shut from the outside. Tell her that. That's the truth. And Inchan, wrong play, bro. Wrong play. Even your followers vex with you. Wrong play. Even people inside your community vex with you. Because they know how hard I work. For everybody. Anyway, the Progressive Empowerment Party is partnering, not with political parties. When people here say we're not getting into alliances, we're getting into alliances with voting blocks. We're getting into alliances with small business people who can't get credit, who can't get foreign exchange, but Rowley partners, 1%ers, have all the credit in the world, have all the foreign exchange in the world, have customs delivering shit to the door, like couriers. But the rest, who not on the inside, who not playing whatever games or they're playing, not so fortunate. We representing them. We representing all. I want to quote the people from Petrotrena, all the workers all they did wrong by. We not, I don't care who's their union leader. I don't care. We representing them. I want every worker to hear me. A Progressive Empowerment Party government will not be stealing $2 billion to build a 1% Tanti flyover by Westmall. We would use that money to pay salaries to the good and decent workers, the public servants who keep this country going forward every single day. The nurses and the police and all the other people who do good work for this country, hear me say this. Your salary wage increases will be pegged to inflation. And get your unions to agree with that because the government has control of inflation. In other words, if the cost of living does not increase, you do not lose. But when the cost of living increases 4 and 5 times in the past 7 and 8 years, and you only get a 4% increase, $300 that can't pay for bread. We're representing and we want to work with everybody. So if you are a voting bloc, if you are a community like Suchit Trace, left behind, reach out. We will send a member. We will bring you all into the fold. You don't have to wave a PEP flag. You don't have to wear a PEP shirt. You don't have to paint yourself orange. You could even wear the yellow and eat the curry when the curry duck when they come back curry duck by you. But tell you something. If you want a government that delivers, vote for somebody who's not trying to stunt for you and fool you with culture. I'm coming to give you representation. I'm coming to give you what they tell us to be, servants who lead and leaders who serve. That's all we want to be. If you are an organization on the bank of a river and you can't get the government or the opposition paid to take care of the job that they're being paid to do, come to the Progressive Empowerment Party. And I want to tell Tran to be this. Those 72,000 farmers to make a difference this election. And I want Beatum to hear me, because I am the only politician who came and walked in the sewage with you, and I did it twice. I want Beatum Gardens to hear me when you all took me inside your houses and down inside the drains to show me what these people do you. I want you to remember that. Don't let them tell you. Because if them black and they never came, that's worse. That's so much worse. Remember who came and walked in the sewage with you to raise your issues for you. Remember who stood up for the workers in the landfill. Remember who fought for that tire shredder who never got his raise in pay, and now that he has come to the end of his road, he can't even collect his proper pension because they never put proper paperwork in place for him. Remember who fought for him. Remember the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago that stood in the gap for the public servants when then Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi come to tell you if you didn't take his jab, you was going to get furloughed. And we brought Stephen Matheson and other professionals, human resource professionals, to tell him, no, sir, you can't furlough, you can't fire, you can't threaten people's job. You will spend plenty treasury money by these people. And where it went, it stopped and it went away. Who did that? The Progressive Empowerment Party, our organization, the Citizens Union. I want to tell you this, I want to say this to you. If this, you see, you all don't believe local government means anything. Everybody thinks local government is a way for people to thief money. Thief money. Small money, but you're thieving it anyway. I want to tell you something. If the Progressive Empowerment Party is voted into office, all 14 corporations, you know what you'll get? For the first time, a local government that delivers. As I told you earlier, without the power of state and without $1 of their funds, we were going to dredge the Golden River. Now the government going to do it. Without the power of state and an ounce of their funds, we protected people by Gandhi Village roundabout, and we were going to put down the rumble strips. I want you to remember that. Without the power of state and their money, we went into Maruga and showed you all the roads that they built without foundations and without retaining walls, and we did our own surveys and we brought it to the public, and now we have the government trying to play cover up. And you're seeing it for yourself. I want to tell you something. If you vote the Progressive Empowerment Party into office, because no matter what they tell you about how it is cussed, they're afraid that cuss. They're afraid that they get cussed from somebody who now have the authority to cuss them. Come and deliver to my people. That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the Progressive Empowerment Party coming into office and delivering for you. Because all of a sudden they will have to deliver too. If they want you to continue to believe in anything that happening in the Balize and wherever the UNC Rising Sun stand for these days. The Progressive Empowerment Party has always been about one thing only: fix the country. How are we doing that? End the corruption, break the contract mafia, put your treasury back to work for you. We want to scale back taxes and increase the state's own revenue collection through business agreements. I tell people things. They gone down there now on the same bank of the river and talking retention ponds without the Progressive Empowerment Party telling you our retention pond plan in a river. You would have never know that, but run with it now. I have hundreds of those policies, brother. We can fix everything. Trinidad know that now. Every single policy that the PNM and the UNC talk in the past 5 years is PEP policies. Straight out of the mind of Phillip Alexander. And I want to tell you this. This is what I was born for. This is what I am capable of doing. Give me the chance to deliver, and you will see. You will can't wait for a general election, because when you see what local government is capable of doing, you will be straining at the leash to vote a Progressive Empowerment Party government into office as your general election winners. And I'll tell you why. Because you realize that politicians are not royalty. Politicians don't get to drive in tax-free multi-million-dollar automobile and live on champagne and caviar while you catching your ass. They don't sit down in their ivory towers and raise the prices of electricity and embark on policies that make it impossible for you to afford food. They don't raise the price of gas 3 and 4 times and sneer at you and tell you you're too stupid, you're too coward to riot. Riot through me. Riot through your finger. Riot in that polling station. Riot in the voting booth. In the silence of that space. Riot with that mark next to the Progressive Empowerment Party. Let that screen, orange that night, tell Colm Imbert, this is our riot. A new government. Do that. Wake this country up the morning after election with a surge of hope. The people will know that for the first time they have real representation, and it's useless. It's local government, but you'll see what we could do with it. Because if we could deliver without having government office at all, without being opposition, without being funded, imagine what we could do if you give us any power of state. We desperate to prove to you what real representation looks like. So when general election time come around, you will know that the only party you're supposed to vote for is the Progressive Empowerment Party. Inchan Ishmael asked them, who of worth you see around Phillip Alexander? I want to tell him, and you know why they're begging for that information? Because in Trinidad, when you show your hand, your people get bought, bullied, bribed, terrorized, and worse, to frighten them away. But I want to tell you, we have the best. We have the best Minister of Education this country will ever see. And it is important that he be the best, because we have massive changes to make sure that we create a prestige education for all that leaves no child behind, that will end the nonsense of a mother have to get up in Sangre Grande at 3 o'clock in the morning to get her child to Southeast Port of Spain school. That is madness, and we will end that. Listen, there will never be a better opportunity for you to send a message to everybody in this country that the days of racist, corrupt voting is over. You have the opportunity. We have partnered with farmers, the reunited farmers, who stood up against the state and got their visa packages and working on making sure everybody get their money. I see Kapil Besoon come out and write, these UNC talking heads, these PNM talking heads, you ignore them. He come out and write thing now about where's your badge number? Where's your badge number? Where's yours, Kapil? What are you doing for these people? Do these people care? The first time I met Devika Thomas, she invited me to a public meeting and she told me, just come and listen. While I was there, they handed me a microphone. And they said, if you want, we could do something. We marched to NAMDEFCO and put them on notice that we are standing up for these people. And they went on to do what they were supposed to do. I have never seen another politician with the drive Devika Thomas, and I am happy that they went into politics. I am proud to be standing alongside Pundit Donny Samlal. When Pundit Samlal called me and tell me he want me by the same Madeline Pond at 4 o'clock in the morning, I say, you have to be a madman. He said, we have to bless the work. And I went down there and they came with their flowers and their incense and the prayers, and the sun rose on us. I have that video still. The sun rose on us in this field and trees and this pond in front of us, and these prayers and the music, and my God, I still remember it like it was yesterday. And those people took days and weeks and months and cleared that pond because the regional corporation and the state wouldn't. And now it is there for families to use. That is what I am proud of being a part of and working with them, because I know if you give us and them the opportunity to serve, you'll never look back. Local government will deliver more than central government. I tell you, you wouldn't be able to wait for an election. And I want to say this tonight, I didn't, at no point, I didn't want no enemies with none of them. Yes, I have been ridiculing Gary and the NTA. I can't lie. Because, you see, I've vexed, and it's not him already vexed with, you know. I've vexed with the 1% owned. You know what? I can't go at that anymore. Because even them realizing that the Progressive Empowerment Party is the real deal. We are. And you could love me, and you could hate me. It don't matter. If I delivering for you, why would it matter? Why would it matter how I look or how you feel about the way I speak if I, by my effort, make your life better? Don't you win? Right now you're fighting up with people who selling you. All they're selling you is they look like you. That's it. And in exchange for your vote, they do nothing for you. How are you winning there? How are you benefiting? Look at this country. Third wealthiest nation in the Western world, broken and in debt. They raid the Heritage and Stabilization Fund. They're telling you it have money in it. It's bullshit. The size of the debt that this country has, when they come to do a reckoning and a reconciling of our payables and our receivables, we will be in trouble. Because they will have to raid that same fund to pay off their bills. That's what they've done. But we've told them ways that we will diversify the economy. I am not Kamala. I didn't bundle Bodhi and Baji, but I will make sure that we get back to being an agrarian society. I will make sure that we protect the farmers from predial larceny by licensing and making sure that anybody who has any produce without a receipt or a license to show for it, serious jail. And that is all you have to do. And they don't thief avocado to hide it in a hole. They thief avocado to come and sell it on the road. So any police officer, no stripes, straight out of the academy could say, hey, where you get them avocado from? You don't have a license? Ah, boy. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. And that's all they need. They need ponds. We went and did ponds for farmers in Central. We did that. We went and organized that. And you all saw it on video footage. I mean, there's so much. If I just sat down here and talk about all the things we do, these sons of bitches, Saran and Timal and Misfit Griffith, let's talk about the Paria divers. They was anywhere there. When they was clapping the Bamsi Carnival Sunday night, I was down in Paria trying to get the divers out of the pipe. What I do, Timal, your tongue should fall out your head. You nasty son of a bitch. Want to ask what I do? What you do for anybody? Besides try to hustle people with all kind of bullshit movie ideas. You want to be a movie director. That is who Gary hired as commissioner of police, social media manager, a movie director posting porn on Facebook. Timal, you should be ashamed of yourself. Anyway. Now is not the time to be calling my phone. Anyway, plain talk, Trinidad and Tobago, we in an election season. If you have been one of the people who have been talking, if you are one of the people who have been talking about a better country, if you are one of the people who have been saying it is time for change, this is change. Come on board. Come on board as a candidate. We're screening right down the line. Come on board as a financier. Come on board as a volunteer and help us. We need volunteers for election day. We're starting to take names now to sit down in the polling booth and make sure they don't thief the election. Each polling station, we put in our own election officers in there. We put in our own observers. Come and be one of the observers. Let them show you an empty ballot box at the start of the day, and you count 350 people come and vote, and when they open the box, they have 350 ballots inside of there. Cool. If it's 351 ballots, we have lawyers on standby, because something went wrong. You understand? So we need observers, we need volunteers. We desperately need your help financially because we don't have cocaine money. We don't have drug lord money laundering money. We don't have political speculator investor money. We only have Trinidadians who want a better country. And if you are one of those people and you want to help, please reach out to Felicia Holder 769-4590, or you could WhatsApp me at 682-2110 and I'll pass you on to the full finance team. Say, Phil, look at 5,000. Look at 10,000. I want Pep to win this election. 141 candidates need $2,000 each just to pay on nomination day. So you see the kind of money that we have to raise. Help us, please. If what you want is a better country, if you like what you heard tonight, if you believe that an army of lions led by a lion, people with real policies and a drive to deliver is the better way forward than racist, corrupt politics that gets office based on skin color and hair texture to hand the treasury over to the contract mafia. If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, there is no better opportunity than now. Come on board with us and the Reunited Farmers Alliance, the Progressive Empowerment Party, and our partners, the Reunited Farmers Alliance. And I want to say something else. If you are a voting bloc, if you are a political party and you can't raise no candidates, you can't raise no, so you could still work with us. If you are a community, if you are an organization, civil society, anything, and you want to be part of this alliance, this movement of people, you see, we want to leave the PNM and UNC behind. We want to gut them of all their supporters. We want the supporters of the PNM and the UNC to wake up to the reality that they deserve better, that Laventille Hill deserve what Goodwood Park Hill get. And the day Trinidadians wake up to that is that time we don't campaign no more, because they will come out in their numbers. And that's the last thing. Traditionally, local government elections does not get a big turnout, but we need you all to come out in your massive numbers because we could win this. So we cut PNM ass in Davie South. It's time to cut their ass throughout the country. Come and give us a victory. Come out in your numbers, 100, 200, 300 people in a extra will make all the difference. I am going to start back doing my live videos, Satish and Rudy and Daniel, working out all the kinks, looking into 3 cameras. We're going forward. Yeah? You want a better country? 14 to 17 Park Street, opposite Victoria Square. Just show up. Bring cases of water. Bring soft drinks. Bring anything you want to hand over to say, look, I want to help. This is how I can help. We have 5 offices throughout the country. You can volunteer to work at any of those. In this one-man party, that we have 5 offices. I've cut myself in 5 and Inchan, you jackass. Anyway, until tomorrow, one more thing. If you want to be part of the media and you want to help us with what we're doing with all of our social media stuff, not like the propaganda thing that you hear people in Tobago talking about. Real social media. We don't have fake profiles. I post with my whole 3 names, Phillip, Edward, Alexander, proudly. Yeah? And I don't hold back to talk in real life. What I say? What else I can say? Come and help us. Satish Ramsaran 796-8172. If you would like to be considered as a candidate, you can message Satish 796-8172. WhatsApp me 682-2110. We have a hotline. I just don't remember it right now, but I will by tomorrow. Until tomorrow.